Welcome to the newest episode of 60 Card Bricks, a Yu-Gi-Oh podcast. My name is Carlos.
And I'm Ty.
In this episode, we'll discuss the new TCG and OCG ban list, the latest OCG Meta reports, and some new card announcements. Enjoy the show.
You can buy a single of that card for like 50 cents on Amazon.
Don't worry, I believe in the heart of the cards.
Ty, how you doing?
It was yesterday evening, man.
Yeah?
Nobody expected it.
Oh, that's definitely true.
People called me a liar when I shared that on the group.
Oh, that's very true. Everyone was like, you stop lying.
Yeah, because I was lucky enough to actually get to the website. Nobody could actually load it.
That's true, yeah. Oh, man. It was certainly unexpected, yes. I mean, since when do they release late-night ban lists?
Never.
Like, it's so weird. It was just a strange occurrence. I don't know. But, hey, it was a welcome change.
I mean, they crashed all expectation of even if they release a ban list, that would be like for after YCS 200. And
Yeah.
no, it is the list for YCS 200.
Yep. So, definitely... Well, the one good thing about this, even if you don't love this list, which we surprisingly know a couple of people who don't love this list, I think the good thing is we have definitely a lot of stuff to talk about.
Yes.
So, all right, well, we're gonna start with the TCG list because the OCG did release their list as well today, day of recording being Friday. But we're gonna start with what we actually play, and that is the TCG. And we're gonna go through all these changes. We'll fly by some of the more obvious ones, but I think there's a lot to talk about with most of these. So, all right, we're gonna start with the newly forbidden cards, and we will start with the card that Ty might have gotten banned himself, and that is Samsara Lotus.
I'm a piece of Yu-Gi-Oh history.
Yeah.
I mean, this one has been used, like of course, before my version of No Firewall. There's a Firewall version with Rescue Ferret. So, and you know, Konami doesn't really screw with FTKs. They just hit it immediately. So, of course, very good hit.
Yeah. It made a lot of sense, and hey, I think it's kind of funny that the first list since starting this podcast is banning the card that you abused to get a lot of people to listen to the podcast. Ironic. All right, moving on to Nightmare Goblin.
But one more thing.
Yeah.
At least I made that so that I raise more, like, I raise people more to know that FTK and now Konami's hitting it, which is good.
True.
So,
Nightmare Goblin.
oof. I remember when I said that they're going to hit Goki in, they have to hit Goki in double instead of just one. We all think that it would be Firewall, but apparently, like, it actually has plot armor with the anime. It's still at one, but the two hits are Goblin and Invoker instead. Goblin is a big part because one of the easier way to do the extra link with Trigate is bounce back Ibly and normal summon it.
Yep.
Now you don't have the extra normal summon, so yeah, it's pretty sad.
Yeah, man, this is a weird one. I like it, I guess, because I know this is an unpopular opinion. I don't hate Firewall Dragon. So I mean, I guess if something has to go, that's probably, I mean, I guess it's a good hit. And the non-targeting thing is also an underrated aspect of it as well.
Oh, yeah, of
Protection
course.
from targeting.
It's actually really big because
A lot of people are saying that mind control is going to be relevant again, which I'm okay with.
Widowmaker.
Yeah.
If Ibly is not on your field, Widowmaker is an immediate out for that.
Yep.
And yeah, just a lot of good targeting stuff to out the board or baited out the Trigate.
Exactly. So I think ultimately, like, this was going to find its way on the list eventually. I don't think a lot of people saw it coming this soon, but hey, here we are.
Another underrated aspect of this is that if you draw Ibly now, it's really hard to extra link.
Yeah.
Because of you don't have the extra normals, like because you cannot tutor it from the deck, and you do not have the extra summon to go with the normal combo.
True.
So it's actually really hard to play with Nibbly in hand.
Yeah, that really actually kind of sucks. You would have to start the combo without normal summoning, I guess. But
You would need some kind of extender
yeah, exactly.
to
It's
because you won't get the
weird.
because you would get -1 link material when you swap. I guess you use Phoenix now, swap into Mermaid, but then you won't get the +1 link material from deck. So you need to have something else to go into another link 2 with the special from Firewall.
Yeah, exactly. It's just weird. All right, Invoker though. I
This card deserves to be here,
yes,
to be honest.
this makes a lot of sense to me. It should have been banned a while ago.
It's not once per turn. It tutors any level 4 warrior, of course, but like not just in Goki. Like we see this being abused even more in 6Ms
Yeah.
and just basically
It was a problem during Zoo format. It was. It's always been at the center of a lot of these problems. It makes a lot of sense.
also I can also say to myself that I got 2 cards banned, not 1. True story.
Fair enough. Yeah, I to me this one is one of the most obvious ones on here. It makes tons of sense and completely kills the rank 3 version of Goki. So
Yeah.
there we go. All right, and that's it for the newly banned cards. Now we move on to the limits, which is where things get pretty interesting. So we have a assault core.
I hate this hit so much. I hate this hit
This
like
is
so much.
so obviously dying for Cannon Soldier and Firewall Sins.
It's
It's so stupid.
like I can understand it if ABC is on the OCG state of having needle fiber and a lot of support to actually make it a very good deck. ABC is not even good here, and they say that limiting A basically prevents like firewall looping, but then like to get to firewall looping, you need so much setups from your, and then you just hit the burn engine, just hit
Cannon Soldier.
yeah, like on the same list, you hit the problem card, the correct problem card from Samsara Lotus, and you decide not to hit the correct problem card on another FTK. Like, what, Konami, what? the logic is not consistent.
No, it's not. It really isn't. This one is so dumb, and it yes, I understand what they're trying to do here, but at the same time, now you have completely, I would assume inadvertently, completely murdered a deck, a viable rogue deck
Yeah, like
in ABC.
OCG is fine with this at 1, or I think they still had this at 2, but even if at 1, like it's okay because they have needle fiber.
Yeah.
They have a ton of way to actually make that deck consistent. You can't even play Pot of Desires in ABC now, which is a staple from from the day the card was released.
I
ABC
really
got
don't like
hit
this,
so
you know.
much with this list.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. All right.
Rip to Mikey shots.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to the big one that was.
I don't care. Just you can talk about it.
I mean,
fine.
okay. But this is the thing. Like, I'm not a hero play either, but I think this is a big moment. It's the death of a meme. That's what this is.
It's the death of the meme.
And I think that's really it's a big moment. This is the thing that everyone had on their what am I thinking of? Their thumbnails for their ban list
Yes,
things.
for sure.
It's just the face of this ban list, essentially. Whether it deserves to be or not, that's what it is. I don't think there's another card on here that we'll talk about let's just talk about it right now. Hero Lives got limited. That's the balance to this. They decided to give
Konami,
us...
yes, thank you. You actually have some common sense.
Yes, this was a good choice. You give us Stratos, but you also hit the deck so it doesn't get too out of hand. That's a good way to approach this. I like this. And now your player base can stop complaining, although they'll keep complaining about something.
Oh, I know somebody would complain. I've seen people with like a stack of A Hero Lives Ultimates. They're literally crying right now.
Yeah. So this is, I think it's ultimately it's a good thing, and they did a good job of hitting it or giving them what they wanted, but also hitting the deck so it doesn't get out of hand. Which honestly, I don't think it would have gotten out of hand, really. No. But do think A Hero Lives is kind of a weird card to begin with, so probably was a good hit anyway. So
Best comment that I saw yesterday about this: the Yu-Gi-Oh version of Nelson Mandela is out. He's free from the jail.
Yep, yes he is. All right, let's move on to Morphing Jar.
Oh my gosh. On its own, it does nothing,
Yeah,
but I'm completely sure somebody has already made a deck revolves around Empty Jar and just basically mills your opponent out.
yeah.
Why?
I have seen a lot of people who have played this game for a long time complaining very much about this card.
At one, it does nothing on its own. No, it's not consistent enough.
Yeah, that's my thought. I don't think it's going to be that big of an issue, but I agree with you, and this goes back to something we talked about on the last episode. Why are we encouraging these kind of ridiculous, stupid decks? And that's all this does. Like, nobody's gonna. You're right. In the competitive, like at the top tables, nobody's gonna be playing this deck or this card. But now we're just like, now we have to deal with this nonsense. Like, and people, yes, I know there's gonna be people who figure out a way to just abuse this card and loop it and just mill you out. Like, it's why are we doing this?
I mean, one thing I think they free Morphing Jar to even push Danger more.
I think that's what it is too.
But this card doesn't even work that well in Danger.
I know.
1 out of 10 games, you will see this card. You will set it. And that doesn't matter. There's so many outs without flipping it these days. It's not 2008 anymore.
Yeah.
What this is going to do is that somebody will tutor this out from the deck. Summon Sorceress somehow. I know she's going to be in there. Flip it down, flip it up again, flip it down, flip it up again. And then you would be left with 0 cards in your deck and you cannot draw.
Yeah. One random question. Will this be played in Paleo since it's level 2?
Yes. Oh, I think this is pretty good in Paleo.
Yeah. I think that's an interesting application. And then also, one interesting way I heard somebody talking about a way to like flip this card is Boral Guard.
Yeah.
That's also kind of cool, I guess. I don't know. I just feel like this is gonna. I don't know.
Think about it. You going. So first off, you have to tutor this somehow from the deck, and then you have to make a link 4.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
Exactly. I don't know. I don't think this is going to be, again, I don't think this is going to be used in a very competitive sense, but I think there's going to be really annoying Grenmaju level decks that are going to abuse this. So, yeah, no thank you. All right, moving on to Heavy Metal Foes Electromite.
What did I tell you? I said that this card going to be hit.
Yep.
This card's really good, to be honest. Like, 100%, this card's insane. But I don't think this is justified if they didn't bring anything else back, which they didn't.
I know.
They just destroyed Pendulum, and that's it.
Yeah. Maybe they wanted to clear the way for making better Pendulum cards without it being completely ridiculous.
How do you make a better Pendulum support than this?
That's true. I don't know.
The card literally have 2 of the most broken effect you want in a Pendulum deck.
Yeah. I don't know.
Konami stuck to their game plan.
On the same day trip.
First they banned the player, then they hit the card.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
memes aside, this is sad.
Yeah, it's kind of sad for Pendulum players, but ultimately, like, you're right. The card is ridiculous, so it's a good hit, but it just didn't feel like this was the time. So.
Yeah, it's a good hit, but then they should bring something back to make like the deck less suck than they are right now. So.
All right, now let's talk about another one, the next one that is also a good hit, but feels like, why now?
Yeah, so late.
Psyframe Lord Omega. This card is dumb. I get that. I personally love this card, so I cry. I mourn this card's movement to limited status. But why now? I guess because of the scrap thing?
No, yeah, the junk.
Or the junk thing? Yeah.
Junk speeder.
It hasn't... I don't know. Like, why can't we... Like, we didn't even get a chance to play that, really.
I guess.
Maybe they just didn't want to deal with it,
This
I
is
guess. But
one-
was it going to be the best deck, or was it going to be a competitive
No,
strategy?
no.
Exactly. So what's the... Ugh. I hate this.
Konami R&D is like, what's broken in the synchro? Omega. Let's put it there. Like, yeah, I understand. Like, the timing of this is dumb.
Frustrating.
It's just dumb. Like, either do it when it's on its prime and it's actually worth hitting.
Hmm.
Just don't do it after. Don't do it at all.
They just hate me. I mean, Grass is banned, Omega's at 1. I get, and I understand that the majority of the player base, people who don't love those zombie synchro decks, whatever, they are happy with this because Omega at 1 is actually like, that's pretty good because it's a interesting synchro to just have as a one of, and a lot of people just play it as one of, so I get that. That's fine. But I love spamming Omegas. Why can't I have that?
Yeah.
It's so annoying. And it wasn't doing anything. Whatever. Moving on. Evil Swarm Exxon Knight was moved from Forbidden to Limited. You seem not as excited about this as everyone else seems to be, or angry about this as Simo seems to be.
What should I say about this? It's a very good tool going second, don't get me wrong. It's very good against the trap decks or like, yeah, basically the set 5 pass and stuff. Very good against Sky Striker because they will gain a lot of advantage in the first turn. But is it actually like super good these days? I don't know, because like you can Widow Anchor it. On Outer Guys, you can just use a trap that I'm forgetting the name.
Protocol?
Huh?
Is it Protocol?
Yeah, you can protocol it. Yeah. Infinite Impermanence, Effect Veiler. Like that's a lot of tools to deal with it now.
Yeah.
But situationally, this card's still really nice. I mean, we talk about it during the ban section.
Yeah.
Like it can come back.
Yeah, I agree. It makes going second a little easier for some decks. A little bit.
Which deck actually spam Ring Force now, like, to be honest.
That's true. I don't know.
Any meta deck you can think of that can spam Ring Force.
Spam Ring Force. Not that I can think of off the top of my head. So
Yeah.
fair enough.
So,
yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. It's just I don't know what it's gonna do. I understand, like, because Simo's argument is from like a fundamental like point of view. It's just like this card punishes you for, or it rewards you for losing, is his argument. But I view it more as it punishes your opponent for overextending. So I don't know. It's interesting, I guess. All right, A Hero Lives, we already talked about. Card Destruction.
oh boy. I mean,
This is clearly just to push danger, right?
yes.
Do you think it's going to do anything? Do you think this is Snatch Steal level, which some people are suggesting?
If you draw it if you're playing it in your deck and you draw it, you win. If you resolve it correctly. That's it. Like, there's no other way to go around it. It's really good. In Danger, Sky Striker as well, because you set your engage, and the card that you don't need, you card Destruction to send like 2 spells from your hand, and the race is on. Yeah. Fundamentally broken card, but we also have a lot of tools to deal with it nowadays. Like, everybody's still playing 3 Ash, and this can be stopped by Ash.
Yeah.
Not much to talk about, to be honest.
Do you think it is long for the limited status?
Is this Snatch Steal 2.0?
Yeah,
Depends how Danger perform.
that's true.
What
the new Danger cards do.
I don't think that Danger is actually going to be meta with this. Because, again, it's still unsearchable one-of.
Yeah.
Sure, you luck sack into drawing it, and if you resolve it, you win. But, like, the deck's basically the same. So don't get too hype about that.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. It depends. It completely depends on what decks end up abusing this and how well they're able to abuse it. So
Yeah.
All right, moving on to the one that the most predictable hit on the list, and that is drones. Sky Striker Mecha Hornet drones.
Shout out to AJ for not taking my bet.
You know my feeling. I wish this was Engage, but I understand this is how they wanted to hit it because Engage makes some money. So here we are.
I mean, hitting this also hit the engine and just not the. It hits both the engine and the PR, because if you just hit engage and not this, then you would just play 3 drones.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
was the correct hit in the OCG, and I think it's the correct hit in the in the TCG as well.
Fair enough. Well, my question is, because everyone is basically saying the general consensus seems to be that the engine itself is pretty much dead unless you're going to run a bunch of garnets in it, right?
I think Sky Striker Trickstar is still a thing because they play 1 anchor and 1 afterburner anyway, to get rid of like big monsters.
Yeah.
So
Fair enough.
It still
yeah.
might be good in that deck.
But my question is, and this is kind of in my thinking with this anyway,
Uh-huh.
why can't and why won't people just treat this like the Terratop Takatomborg engine where you play 3 of one and then just 1 of the other?
Because the searcher, it's because actually if you
It accomplishes the same thing.
you're saying like 3 Terratop and 1 Takatomborg,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And you play 3 engage and 1 drones.
Yeah,
if you
but
draw the engage, you search the drones. If you draw drones, then whatever. I don't know.
That's true. To be honest, yeah.
It's the same logic. It's like I guess you end up with
1 dead card if
Yeah,
you draw both.
exactly.
Instead of the Terratop. But yeah.
I don't know. I still think that it's viable without having to play the other stuff, but we'll see. We'll see how it ends up shaking out. This is a big one.
Yeah.
Super poly.
We don't really have the tools like the OCG yet. But we do have Mud Dragon and my tech choice, my sleeper card of the week, which will be revealed later for this. So, yeah. I like Simo's argument on this. I don't like Spell Speed 4 in general.
Yeah.
I mean, I like multi-roll. So, that's kind of, I guess I'm kind of hypocrite. I'm kind of a hypocrite, but
It's a little different, but it's still, yeah.
yeah, like you can actually like respond to multi-roll.
Uh-huh.
You can actually respond to this. Is it actually going to do anything for now?
Not
I don't think
yet.
so.
I think it might be like a...
It breaks the extra link with Link Karibo, yes.
Yes.
But I mean,
It's I just don't like adding more Saki 1-ofs to the game. And
it's
that's
really
what this
good.
is doing.
Yeah, it's really good in the OCG, but only in specific decks
Yeah.
like Outer Guys, because first of all, they have so many slots in the extra deck.
Mm-hmm.
And second of all, it's not only good against you being extra link, it's also good against Thunder Dragon,
Mm-hmm.
which we don't have yet.
Yeah.
When Thunder Dragon is out, this card is basically a win button in the mirror match, which is insane. I guess no, because we still do not have. Oh no, never mind. Yeah, I forgot that the Super Bowl Thunder Dragon are darks. So, yep, that's fine. So yeah, good card.
I have a feeling I'm gonna end up hating and loving this card. I'm gonna have a complicated relationship with it. All right, moving on to the ever important semi-limited list.
Just put everything to 3.
All right, Cosmo Dark Destroyer. Who cares?
Yeah, that's fine.
It's not gonna
Rejoice, Cosmo player.
It
But
doesn't change anything really.
There's some dumb hits in this.
Yes, Called by the Grave.
Oh my gosh.
I hate this with a passion.
I understand the argument of this card is actually too good.
I get it. This
Like,
card does a lot.
Every single deck's played this card.
Yes, I get it.
That's insane.
It's one of the most versatile cards they've ever printed. I've been saying that ever since it was released. But at the same time, I think it's so necessary and important. Now, I get, okay, ultimately what their logic is that it hinders combo decks because now you're not playing as many of these, so your combos aren't going to be going off as often, I guess is their logic.
Yeah.
But I just feel like this is beneficial to like every deck. Like it's not just you're punishing everybody for just because you don't want to deal with these combo decks in a different way. I don't know. I just don't like it.
But the card is universally good.
Yeah, I get it. I get the logic. I just think it's really obnoxious, and you already have a hand trap. I don't want to say issue, but
Yeah, it's really weird actually. This is like the first big major diversion. Well, no, we have like the banlists are so different.
Yes.
But then this is like the big diversion that we have seen recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so weird. It's just, this is definitely, even if you like this hit, you have to admit this is the weirdest
Definitely, yes.
hit on the ban list. It just came out of nowhere. Limiter removal. Again.
Testing?
Yeah.
Before it goes to 3, because this card can actually be good
Yeah.
at 3.
We'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. I would have to add, because the main deck that people are assuming this is going to be used in is Cyber Dragons, but I don't honestly think this is going to be used in Cyber Dragons. I don't.
No.
So what I don't know. Like,
People are saying that you can OTK with 2 of this card and a Kagari that's boosted 1000 attack.
so stupid.
No, do not play this.
You're not
Please
running it.
do not play this.
So it doesn't matter. All right, Scapegoat. Why?
OCG hit it to 1 and then put it back to 2, and it's fine at 2. So we're skipping a period and just go to straight up what it is right now in the OCG. Do I think it's good? I hate this card. I want it to go to 1.
I want it to be banned. This card is dumb. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't like this. It feels like a half measure to me.
This is so versatile right now because it's also an OTK machine now with Borrow Sword.
Yep.
It basically can be anything you want. Like, yeah.
You shouldn't be able to have free link force. It's stupid to me.
Mm-hmm.
All right, terraforming. Why
a
now?
trial hit, I guess.
Why now?
Terraforming is basically a better upstart goblin for Field Spell deck, so there's basically trying to see how one copy, like hitting one copy would do for those decks.
Yeah.
A consistency hit, but yeah, I mean, I don't really mind it staying at 3 or going to 2 or going to 1.
There's just so many of these hits, I guess is my point, that feel like they're a list or two too late. Like, why now? Like, if this was back during when Draco was tier 1, I would be, that would make sense in my brain. But right now, this doesn't make any sense to me. Like,
the dumb thing is that Draco is only playing 2 terraforming now.
it's just, I don't know. This weird hit. All right. Let's talk about the things that are off the list here. We got a Pocky Fort
Sure.
Towers. Who cares? Disc Commander with the errata. Doesn't matter. Went straight from Forbidden to Unlimited. All right. Burial from a Different Dimension.
Sure.
A lot of people are saying this is actually going to be really good, and I'm just like,
no.
it'll be fine.
It's going to be okay in
yeah,
table 500 decks.
exactly. Like, whatever. Ring of Destruction. Don't care.
People saying that Time Lords will be playing this. 3 copies of this in Time Lords.
Fair enough.
Pretty nice.
There you go.
Chain Burn as well.
Yeah, let's keep enabling them. Seems like a good idea. All right. So that's the whole list. Overall thoughts, Ty? Happy? Not happy?
I low-key really love this list because it didn't eradicate Goki by hitting Firewall.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't eradicate Sky Striker by hitting Engage. Everything else stays the same. So basically, the field it's so level right now. We're in for a very versatile format, I think.
Yeah. The one thing that makes me upset about this list,
No Trickstar.
Yes.
No Trickstar.
We have dealt this. I feel like this is gonna sound weird, but I feel like this is like the next Burning Abyss with how like they refuse to touch this deck.
Just hit Reincarnation to 1. It's so easy.
Exactly. I don't understand. Why can't we deal with Trickstars? It's one of the most annoying decks to play against. It drives me insane. The field spell is even worse than Reincarnation.
That was so good.
But Reincarnation, I think if you hit Reincarnation, everyone's happy. Trickstars you don't have to deal with them as much anymore. The field spell's still good, I get that, but Reincarnation I would have been fine with that. You hit the field spell, you kind of kill the deck.
Yeah.
So Reincarnation was the hit, and this deck won't die.
Just remove the draw Reincarnation interaction from the game. Like, why are you keeping it in the game?
I hate.
Like,
That's the only part of this list that pissed me off. Everything else I'm completely fine with. I would have liked maybe a little bit of a hit to the Dark Goki version, the maybe Malicious or whatever, but whatever. We'll see how good
there will
that
be
is.
a time for Malicious, I guarantee.
Yes,
you.
eventually that
Sometimes.
will. I this might be I don't know if this is the time in the podcast to say this, but I think Goki is still going to be really good in this format. This deck is not dead yet.
Don't sleep on that.
And I think that Malicious and some of those other cards are going to die because of Goki's continued success in this format. That being said, everything else besides the not hitting the dark version of Goki's enough and then Trickstars, I'm happy with this list. I really am. It introduced some fun new elements in Super Poly and card destruction that who knows how that's going to affect things. It levels Goki, the regular version of Goki, a little bit. I genuinely am. I'm pretty happy with this list.
Yeah.
Just a few things.
The only
missing.
thing that I'm super mad about is A for sure.
True. Fair enough. Fair enough. So yeah, I don't know.
Everything will be viable for this 200.
Yeah.
Everything from True Draco, Goki, Sky Striker, Trickstar, Outer Guys.
Yeah.
Heck, even Paleo with Morphing Gel.
Yeah. So because I don't think we're gonna have a podcast next weekend, most likely because we'll be at the 200th.
Yep.
So my prediction for the 200th is that Goki is going to be heavily represented again, and people are going to freak out and say nothing has changed. The list was terrible, and people are going to turn on this list.
Pure is also not dead. Do not Pure Sky Striker is also not dead.
Pure Sky Striker, I think, will probably be the first or second most represented deck in the top cut. So I'm curious to see how Altergeist fares. And Draco, to be honest, because Draco's still good. All right, moving on. Let's talk about the OCG list a little bit here. You want to run through this one?
Yeah, ban Amazoness Archer, Cannon Soldier, MK2, and Summon Sorceress. First two, good, completely understandable. Just Konami of both, just go through the list. I know it's 9,000 cards and somewhat. Go through every single one that has a non-once per turn burn. Just get it out in one list.
Yep.
Just do not make do not keep make people just keep making FTKs. You're forcing their hands. Oh my gosh. Sorceress is banned.
It's going to happen here eventually.
Sorceress is ridiculous. From day one, we knew this. Everybody say Needle Fiber is the dumbest thing ever. I think this card the power level that this card bring is even more ridiculous than Needle Fiber, I think. You can tutor anything from the deck. There's no restriction at all. And yeah, the OCG just decided to hit this. We know for sure that this card is still going to be safe because EU
exactly
we're
safe for a while.
We're safe for a while, so very interesting that they decided to hit this. This card, I have zero doubt, will end up in the forbidden list in the future for our list.
Okay, obviously there's rumors flying around that this card is, I don't know if it's been confirmed, that Summon Sorceress is going to come out in a special edition as a promo. And we still have no idea when Needle Fiber is coming out. Is there any way that they decide to hit this before Needle Fiber comes out?
No.
It depends, I guess, on how long you think we have to wait for Needle Fiber.
They're not, yeah, but then they're not going to let EU play with it for 2 weeks or something.
Yeah.
And if Needle Fiber doesn't come out by the end of the year, Konami, please, just stop.
I know you don't want to think about that, but I don't know. It's interesting. All right, let's move on to the limits.
Yep. We have Damage Juggler, Goblin to 1 instead of 2. Interesting. A Hero Lives, so mirroring each other a little bit. Ghost Arc, and I saved the best for last. Tempest, Dragon Ruler of Storms. Oh boy, I stick by what I said. Dragon Rulers will not do too much, even now, but they're being so careful. They don't even let everything out yet. Just Tempest for now.
Is this because it's in their eyes the weakest of
the wind? Yeah. The wind attribute is probably the weakest out of everything because Earth, water, there's a lot of water. You have mermaids. Earth, you have so many stuff, and blaster fire. You also have some synergy. So, fun fact: there's already an FTK that uses Tempest. It's janky. you need like 2 level 8s on the field to start this. But it's an FTK. So yeah.
Yikes. All right. I don't know what. I think it's going to be an interesting experiment, and I'm glad they have to go through it before we do. So there we
Yeah.
go.
For the
Damage
other cards,
Juggler,
sure.
that makes sense. Goblin was
Oof,
weird.
2-1
What does
instead
that
of 2.
do?
I mean, I don't know. You in Goki and Ghost Stuffling, you play 2 Phoenix instead of 2 Goblins.
Exactly. Like, it doesn't change anything. I don't know. A hero lives mirroring us was interesting, I guess.
Ghost Sark, boy,
They don't like Thunder Dragons, apparently.
they're not even doing that good in the OCG right now, and they're just destroying the best card in the deck.
I think that hit could happen here eventually, too. Depending on how well.
Yeah, but this is the first format of Thunder Dragon.
True.
And they're already being slaughtered.
Yeah.
That's insane. And the deck is not even that good comparing to guys and Sky Striker and Link Spam.
Yeah.
And they're just getting killed.
It's strange. Strange, to say the least. All right, let's move on to the semi-limits.
Multifaker, Bryoneck for Necros or Bryoneck, Dante, Widow Anchor, Engage, Super Poly, Grass, Chuking's Return, and Ring of Destruction. Get the worst one out. Ring of Destruction, Errata. Why not just put it to 3 anyway?
Yeah.
And we go to the let's go from start to finish. Multifaker, I think, is just a Worlds hit because how they basically got second in Worlds, and of course, Guys is also really good, and this is just a very good consistency hit to Guys. And I think this is just like the hit, like that's just right. That does not decimate the deck to like one Multifaker or like ban something else. Like I think this is really good.
Yeah, I think Guys, they approach it properly. I think that actually does affect it somewhat. Sky Striker hits. Do you think that affects it too? Or?
Yeah, of course. Again, if Engage is 2-1, deck's basically dead. But with both Engage and Widow Anchor to 2, like it's just reducing both the control aspect and the consistency aspect of the deck, which is great because like Sky Striker is not a powerful deck, so you just hit the consistency part of it.
I mean, I'm not gonna keep saying my feelings on Engage, so whatever. I think this just means they have to be a little bit more careful with their resources. Fair enough, I guess. We'll see if it continues to be as successful. I have a feeling it probably will be. Dante's coming down, right?
No, he's at 1 in the OCG.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay.
So yeah, he has 1 more.
Yeah.
So 2 copies of Dante.
Cool.
Push BA more. That's fine. Bryo as well.
What about Return? Where was that at?
Return was at 1, I think.
Interesting. I mean, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, you would like that. Bryo more consistency for Necros. Like that deck's not doing anything. That's fine. But hey, Super Volley and Grass.
That's interesting. Super Volley is going from 1 to 2, correct?
Yes.
And then Grass is going from 3 to 2.
How many times have we said greener?
Yeah.
During our OCG meta report.
I think they're moving in that direction, and I think eventually they're gonna have Grass banned as well. Unfortunately, Super Poly though, I don't know. Again, it all depends on how it shakes up over here. If it's impactful over here, but having multiple Super Polys just sounds crazy.
They're just destroying Thunder Dragons.
It's true.
Hitting Ghost Arc to 1, and now this to 2.
Oh
like you almost just do not want to make 2 super boat, or a boat and a lord. You just want to make 1 of them because you know what? Like there's 2 copy of this in the side deck now instead of 1.
This feels like it's turning Thunder Dragons into essentially Cyber Dragons, where making like your own cards are like your worst enemy. It's ridiculous.
This also buff Outer Guys a little bit too.
True.
This is like the major deck that uses. So Outer Guys basically like it came out basically almost unscathed.
Yeah. All right. The Unlimits.
I don't like this, Alistair. I've you know me. I've been saying that this card needs to be at 1 for the longest time.
we have it over here. It hasn't really been doing much over here.
You're just saying that because you plan to play
Well,
Midnight Rock for the 200.
that's also possibly true. But at the same time, it hasn't been. It really hasn't. I'm just like it hasn't, and I don't know. It always seemed kind of weird, like because it's never been really the best deck over here.
Mhm.
So it always felt kind of weird that it was kind of hit so quote unquote bad over there. I don't know, whatever. Drones is on this list as well. Spiral Gear drone.
I love that. Please give me back. Give me back my Spiral.
Yeah, we already had that discussion.
Errata,
Disc Commander,
whatever.
Errata. What's the other one?
Hand Loop is back. This is the
Oh, is this the
yeah,
Vishki?
this is the Gishki that Circle one. Like Hand Loop is back. It's back to full power.
Oh my gosh, they moved the wrong. Oh well, maybe they don't have the other one on there. That's weird. Oh, that's
And
so
then
dumb.
and then with they have full power Devil Rituals.
That's so stupid. Why?
Hey, this could be real.
Yeah.
I kind of like this a lot. Just going head loop on your opponent.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
And they have full power Shadows.
Yep.
Everything is back to 3.
Construct and Window, both at 3. Cool.
Nothing to say. Yeah,
yeah.
the deck's not good. Like even as an end. No.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't think
Yeah.
it's that big of a deal. All right, moving on.
Do you want to talk like what do you think would be the best deck from this?
For the OCG,
Uh-huh.
Altergeist probably.
Alter guys probably would be the best deck, yeah.
I honestly think that you'd play it more, so you would know. But I feel like these hits to Sky Strikers aren't going to accomplish too much. So if anything, it'll be maybe a little closer between the two than it was before. But I don't know. It's whatever. I think it's still going to be those two essentially.
And then also Nightmare Spam because like,
Yeah.
again, Goblin hits doesn't do nothing to that. But then there's more way to out the extra link now with 2 Super Volley. And then they hit the 60 card version with Grass.
Oh, and Summon Sorcerers.
Yeah, oh. Yeah, I'm dumb. No, the deck's dead. Never mind.
Yeah.
The anti-link spam is dead.
Yeah.
Sorceress is so too good. Yeah, I forgot
Yeah.
about that.
I don't know. Well,
Huh. Right.
I,
See, I'm just so surprised that like I don't even register even reading this that sorceress is banned.
because we're so far away from it here.
Oh boy. Okay.
All right, moving on. Let's talk about some card reveals here.
Yes.
We have Glow Up Bloom, a new Glow Up card in 2018.
This is no, this is the zombie version of
Yeah.
Globo.
Yeah. I'll read the effect if you would like. It's a hard once per turn, and if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from the graveyard, add 1 level 5 or higher zombie monster from your deck to your hand, or if Zombie World is on the field, you can special summon that monster instead. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn except zombie monsters.
Very good support.
Yes. They're really pushing the Zombie World side of
Structure deck, yeah.
zombies, and I think that's pretty cool. I like this card.
It's really nice.
Yeah. I think zombies in general have been getting really solid support recently. Nothing too ridiculous, but just solid support. So
I'm not sure how good this is going to make it, but I can already think that because this is a tuner, Needle Fiber can summon this. So
yeah, there you
anything that is a tuner that can make Needle Fiber or that can be summoned from the deck with Needle Fiber is bad news, and with an effect that this good. So
Glow Up Bulb, summon, tune around or make Needle Fiber, and then Needle Fiber brings up this version. Interesting. All right. What's another? You want to talk about the next card?
yeah, the Code Generator. Level 3 Earth Cybers effect monster, 1300 attack, 500 defense. Both of the 2 effects are all hard ones per turn. First one is if you would use a Cybers monster you control as a link material for a link summon of a Code Talker monster, you can use this card in your hand as material. Like this has been, there's cards with this before. And the number 2, if this card is sent from the hand or the field to the graveyard as link material to summon a Code Talker monster, you can send 1 Cybers monster with 1200 or less attack from the deck to your graveyard. And if this card was used as a material from the field, you can add to that monster to your hand instead. Really nice. It's very solid cyber support.
Yeah.
When used on the hand, you can immediately trigger Dotscaper for more link materials. When used on the field, it's a rota. Yeah, like very solid.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is a really good, just general Cybers card.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not too in on the code that it's specifically for code talkers and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that because those cards aren't really good.
Yeah, Cybers is not on our radar yet.
Yeah, but
Hey, it's like one busted card away
I
from
know.
being so good.
I know. And it's gonna be, and if it ever does happen, it's gonna be so easy to access because all these structure.
It's yeah. We're not going to be running out of prints soon.
No, not at all. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if the code talker version of Cybers is ever gonna be good, but just Cybers in general.
Yeah,
could
that's
break.
actually that's the thing with them. Like they can swarm easily. They can make a board in like quotations
Yeah,
because their board's crap.
yeah, exactly.
All the thingy doesn't do too much.
Yeah.
Like I know there's a link that like restrict a zone or something, and
Yeah.
then there's like stuff you can target, but like their board is not nightmares.
Yeah,
So yeah,
exactly. All right, moving on to the OCG 20th anniversary duelist box.
yeah. I wanted to talk about this because the contents are so good. I just want to share with everybody how good they are.
Mhm.
When you're buying a box, you get 6 special cards in 20th secret rare. Like that's a brand new like rarity
Yeah.
type.
Do you like that secret rare, by the way?
It looks nice, yeah. 6 special packs, each containing 3 ultra rares and 3 parallel rare cards. 6 special tokens in ultra rare. We didn't even get one in
That's what I
our
was just thinking.
in our megatins. 100 pieces of specially designed card sleeves. Again, so good. 1 out of 6 specially designed rubber playmats, and 1 out of 2 stainless steel 20th anniversary edition cards. Like, all I want to say from this is Konami TCG, diverse your product type a little bit.
We
Like,
don't
put
get
something-
anything even close to
Yeah,
this.
just put something else in your product. Just don't make it just packs. Like, yeah, we love cards, but we also love sleeves. I'm a big like product buyer, you know myself. Like,
Yeah.
I have dice, I have like sleeves because I love them, and it would be so amazing just to have easier access to them here.
Yeah.
Instead of just cards after cards after cards.
Yeah, we have to like jump through hoops to get OCG stuff if we
Mhm.
want anything cool. It's so dumb. Yeah, I agree with you. Echo your statement. All right, let's move on. Do we have anything else in news?
Yeah, the final news piece. So basically, a playmat is revealed for it's a new ranking duel playmat for the OCG. They have this system of ranking duels. So
Mhm.
if you get to a specific rank, you get playmat, I guess.
Yeah.
And the 2 new monsters, people have confirmed that it's new TG supports, and I'm actually pretty interested for that. I'm pretty
That could be cool.
because Hyper Librarian is always going to be like, there's always a chance that somebody will break the
Yeah.
some cards will break that card.
Where is Hyper Librarian in the OCG? Do you know?
2 also like
Okay.
us,
Fair enough.
but imagine if it's a 3. Oh boy.
That would be dumb. All right, yeah. So that's definitely interesting. The mat looks pretty cool too. So
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to the OCG metagame report. We will do this very briefly
It's nothing new
and
at all.
it doesn't matter because their format's ending. So anything stand out to you that you want to talk about from this?
I guess the last. Well, no, it's not the last week because it will go into effect October. But then some card shop will actually have the list immediately played, like I guess next week.
Mhm.
But
Like we're doing this
Yeah.
weekend.
quote, spoilers. We're going to play the new Banlist this weekend in our locals. So basically, for the last in quotation week, we have Skyshaker still at best, Outer Guys, and Link Spam. Like you already know what's happening. Honestly, nothing new. Like Trap Chick is more and more prevalent. Like they're playing it in the main deck now.
Wow.
As I said, Trap Chick is very efficient, like very space efficient. And people are starting to realize that this card is actually dumb in Ultra Guys. Because you can get Manifestation
Hmm.
for an Ultra Guys card, you can get an Effect Negate, you can get Spell Pop. Card's very good. And then post sighting, you can get Metaverse, and Metaverse will get you Secret Village. So it's next level of tutoring a card to tutor your field spell. Good stuff.
That is interesting. Interesting way to approach.
Also,
things.
I think there's a list at the ARG something that played 3 Tempos of the King. They're starting to try like 1 or 2 copies of Tempo of the Kings in the main deck now. Yeah, just basically to trigger multi-faker and do stuff in your turn as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
pretty cool.
Weird. OCG people are interesting.
For sure.
All right. Moving on to your sleeper pick of the week.
Yes. Please check out the last sleeper pick, because with the ban list now, Heavy Storm Duster, Typhoon, it's going to be like amazing cards.
Yes.
Especially for Sky Striker, because people would have the illusion that Goki is dead, and then Sky Striker is going to be the best deck, and other guys will be maining Secret Village now.
Mhm.
So, yeah. Anyway, for this week, it is the target that we have legal for the TCG right now, the Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. The effect doesn't matter. It's just 2 dark monsters on the field except tokens, and Super Poly is at 1. That's basically enough that I have to say.
Yeah.
You can fuse Link Rebo with Chagate Wizard into this. Good stuff.
Goodbye.
Good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's
There's nothing that your
one
opponent
way.
can do with that.
because Super Poly says you cannot respond.
And you have a 28 beater. Seems good.
Yeah, definitely. All right, that's a good card. So I like it.
Yes, and now we'll have a
segment.
new segment that we're trying this week. Please do let us know like how you would like this.
Yes.
And this is what I'd like to call Carlos anime / manga card of the week.
Yep. So we're going to talk about a card that is not in the actual card game, but was used on the anime. And the card we're going to talk about today is Psychic Cyclone. It is a quick play spell, and it says target 1 face down spell or trap card your opponent controls. Declare if it is a spell or trap, and destroy it. And if you do, if you are right, draw 1 card. Otherwise, your opponent draws 1 card.
Yeah.
This is a fascinating card.
It's a very interesting card, and I think it's super balanced too.
Do you think people play this? I personally...
Yeah. It's a better MST. It's a better MST.
But if you get it wrong, they get to draw a card. They replace the card you just destroyed.
Yes. That's also true. But in certain matchup like Sky Striker, you're going to go spell. Outer guys, you're going to go trap. And then you will replace the copy of itself. So
Yeah, I guess
it's really balanced. I love about this card that it's an anime / manga card, but it's actually really balanced.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you know, like in specific matchups, and that would create some interesting things where I think Sky Strikers would start like playing more traps just to combat this. I think that would be it would cause some silly situations like that.
For sure, this will power creep MST, I think.
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't like the fact that it's possible that it's just a -1.
True. But in a meta with Sky Striker and Outer Guys, would you play this over MST?
Yes. Until people catch on and then start just signing in a bunch of random things. I don't know.
Yeah, we decided to go with a tame card for the first week.
There's some crazy ones.
There's some crazy cards.
There certainly are some crazy ones.
But yeah, definitely just let us know if you like the segment or not.
Yeah, and let us know what you think of this card, because I don't know. I don't like the potential of a -1.
But I would import this card into the game like immediately.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting concept.
Yeah. I don't think it would break the game to import it. So yeah. I like it. All right. I think that pretty much wraps it up.
Yeah, we didn't have anything else prepared because we know that the Banlist talk will be the book of this
That's what people care about. So.
Yes.
Yep, it's certainly, whether you love the list or you hate it, it's certainly better than not having one. So
I just hate that that the field is basically broke open now, and we have to prepare it all over again. Everything we knew about the format is gone.
yep, and now I have absolutely no idea what I'm playing for the 200th. So we'll figure it out.
Yep.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. Thanks for downloading or watching on YouTube. And make sure you subscribe and rate and review if you're doing that on iTunes and all that. Yeah, follow us on socials, and see you next time.
See you next time.